First off, the reigning Arnold Classic champion, Ryan Kennelly, who happens to be a good friend of mine. Powerlifter Video traveled to Washington State to catch up with him.
My name is Ryan Kennelly. We're here today at Moses Lake, Washington, Sleek Physique Training Facility. Today's heavy bench day. 2 weeks out from the contest right now, and we're going to go in and get crazy. It's the last Saturday to get crazy. Right now I currently do 4 to 5 meets a year. Last year I did 6 meets and it burnt me out by the end of the year, so I want to cut back actually to 2 meets a year, which I think would be a lot better for me, so I don't get on the overtraining aspect of it and burn myself out, because you're not going to get an 800 plus bench that way. Right at this time I am a bench press specialist, and I do squat and I do deadlift, but nothing is paying the bills like the bench press is right now. And with Scot Mendelson, you know, both of us are battling it out for 800 plus bench. I'm going to stick with this, I think, for another year, and then move into some 3 lift, you know, squat 1,000, deadlift 7 plus, and try to get a 2,400 total somewhere in there. I'd be happy with that. Right here, baby, this is what it's all about. This is the Wheaties box of powerlifting right here. Cover of Powerlifting USA. This is where you want to be. That's right there. That's 800 bench. Just a little warm up, get some blood in the shoulders, triceps, real close grip. Just take it nice and slow. Gotta take it a little slower today. There's only 3 of us, so gotta pace each other a little bit. Ready? I want to lift off for him. I'll hold the boards. My training partner, Steve Swanson, another training partner, Pat Bess. Today, Pat is working on 3 board press with chain, working those sticky points in that area. Steve and I are going to be doing 4 board, of course, with band, and this is where we get crazy. I'm just doing a 225, going to do 2 sets with this, 8 reps, still warming up, real close grip. The heavier it gets, the lighter it gets. Oh, hardly any weight on the bar. What I'm trying to do is just take away the joint. I don't want anything moving when it's stiff as a board. These are my warm-up wrist wraps. I break out the inserts when I get to 5 plates. Oh, yeah. Good times. As far as elbow placement, if your body symbolizes the clock, 9 and 3 is not where you want to be. You definitely want to be at about 4 and 8. That's where your power is at. Once you get into 9 and 3, elbows are turned completely out. You're not going to accomplish anything there. Except maybe a pec tear. So you want to keep them in tuck tight. And definitely lower the bar with the lats. That's you build up that kinetic energy on the way down and explode. This is pushing its weight. That's exploding. That's what you need to do. Basically what it is pressing its weight like this, it accomplishes nothing. What you need to do is engage those fast twitch muscle fibers, kind of like when the EMT puts the defibrillator on you to get your heart going again. That's the type of power you need. Pushing against the weight is one thing. When you got that bar on your chest, you get that press command. That's pushing, exploding. Okay. 100-pound plates. What we're doing here is setting up the bands for 4-board band press today. This particular band is 50 pounds of tension at the top. Some people hook it up all the way against the weights. That's not exactly where I like them. I like them fully stretched out to the end, which is more painful for the lifter. No pain, no glory. Go ahead and press right there. Kind of a mark between here. Good. Watch your finger in there. Very steep. Okay. Awesome. Good. I'm gonna go up to 600. Do that for actually it'll be what's it for 605. I'll go up to, and then I'll do that for a single. Then we'll put the board on. I want to start with 600-pound bar weight and keep adding bands until I'm in the 8s. All right. So basically, with feet placement, I believe the power is in the heel. When you squat on your heels. When you bench, you should bench on your heels. There's no power on your toes. So basically, I try to plant my feet in my basically my squat position, which is about right here. Any further back than my heels are off the ground, any more forward, then my arc doesn't work at all. So what I try to do is I'll actually set up this time on the bench and I'll plant like I do in competition. Going to go to the green band now, which is 75 pounds of tension at the top. This is basically how we intertwine the bands. Follow through. Bring it back through the one you came. Pull this line completely tight. Ready to go. That knot over there. Go ahead and pull it. Wait a second. What we're going to do now is talk a little bit about the arc. When I arc up on the bench, if you look at this guy's back here, this is where you want to lay right here. Not down here flat on the blades. There's no power there. You're flat as a pancake. Try to get up on this part of your back. That's where your power is at. You didn't notice 605, I was showing off for the camera. Nice and tight, bring it down under control, push it up. No string bouncing or anything like that. That's how you get injured. Just nice and control, just get it filled with weight. It's only gonna get heavier from here on out. This is the typical grips that we use in our training. Grip number 1, this is a Texas power bar, so if you can relate with that. We do a thumbs length from smooth, which is a 1 grip. We do a pinky on the ring, which is another. That's the one we're using today. And then the last grip we use is the ring finger right on the ring, a little further out. Those are the basic grips that we use. Competition grip. Everybody's competition grip is different. Mine is right next to the line. Some competition federations recommend that you cover the line. Some say, as long as you're touching it, you're good to go. Very important to have these bands positioned. If you notice where the lifter is going to lie, this is his power line right here. If these bands are positioned too far back, you get the handoff, you get a guillotine. Too far forward, you bring it out, the bar's going to go right to your stomach. It's got to be straight up and down on the power line, which is right below the nipples. Okay, 605 bar weight, actually 610. And I'm gonna start with the 75-pound green band. I like to make big jumps because I got things to do today. And one of them is to 610, 7, 8. Try to get 2 blue bands on there, and the green would be good. That'd be, what, 870 something, roughly at the top. That's what I like to play with. Okay, board. Okay, 1, 2, hop! Got it. When I come down and relax on the board, there's so much tension on that bar that you have to actually time the bounce. Because when you hit the board, it's going to go. Yeah. So you want to catch it on the rebound. If you catch it on the upswing, you're good to go. If you catch it on the down, then it's going to jerk you. So things that you have to deal with when you're playing with this kind of weight. You're getting ready to do this. This is 760 total weight at the top, 610 bar weight still. I'm going to do a triple here, pause into 4 boards. Basically, the first one is going to let me know what's going on. It's going to talk to me, and then I got 2 more to go because I got to triple this. So 2 and 3 are going to be the hard ones. Definitely 3 is going to be one to make me explode. But you got to get them. That's what it's all about. Let's do it. Big lift off. Okay, board. 3 times, Steve. Say with it. 1, 2, hop! Got it. Oh. Okay, this weight here is this is 810 at the top. That's no BS. I've actually weighed these at a locked out position in there. 98 pounds locked out. So give or take 2-4 pounds. 806 there. This is going to be painful. This will be for a single and a long pause on the board. Good times. Let me get an arc. Okay. One, 2, hop! Got it. Take note. It's time for some close grip benching. This is the start of my assistance work.
It's like most popular trend.
This is a little light. Let's see this little light. Nice close grip. All right, Steve. Up. Okay, hand spacing on my close grip bench is as follows. This is a Texas Power Bar once again. I like to go 1 inch from the smooth, which is right there. There should be that much knurling showing. That's as close as I like to go. Doing a lot of close grip benching to strengthen my triceps, and it's been my bread and butter over the last 6 years on getting my bench press up there. My training weight will be 500 pounds or 495, so I just start with 315, 405, and then do 5 sets of 5 at 500. That's what I'll be doing today. Okay, 495, you're going to start my work sets, my assistant work. I'm going to try to do 5 sets of 5. I don't know what I got left in me, but we'll find out. It's going to be nice, smooth, and controlled movements. Nothing poppy, nothing arrogant. Just nice, smooth, and controlled. Second set of 5. Starting to get heavy now, but it means my body's fatigued, and it means the muscles are going to be growing soon. I just did 2 sets of 5 reps with 500 pounds. I'm a little fatigued and running out of gas right now. We're going to move on to some dumbbells, palms facing on the bench, which really annihilate the triceps that run over the elbows here. And we'll see how it goes over here. This is a typical West Side exercise. Lois Simmons advised these to me, and I can't say enough about them. If you want a big bench, you gotta do these dumbbells palms facing. Don't worry so much about this tricep on the outside here. That's just a beauty tricep. You want to, in the bench press, this is where you need it around here. Those triceps that went over the elbow that lock that thing out. Whoa. Come on, ambulance.
Now it's time for my bench workout. Shot right before the APF 2003 Senior Nationals. How you doing? I'm Scot Mendelson. You're here at my gym. This is FIT, Fitness Individualized Training. And tonight we're going to film the last of the workouts before the 2003 APF Nationals. And we'll go over some bench press tips, and you'll see some good weightlifting tonight. Using the wraps just for more support. And I like to use the longer wrap now. I didn't really know about it before, but it just gives you that much more support. I bench off my toes for a leg drive, and I keep my glutes on the bench. And I don't have a real low groove, so we're about sternum level. I'm not like a belly bencher. And I'll show you right now. And away we go. I'm gonna pop my toes under, arch on my head to get my blades together. I'm in position now. 1, 2. A lot of times when I warm up, I don't really want to extend all the way. I want to save my elbows. Not that they're problematic, but I like to save the joints for the heavier lifts. Well, basically, I work bench twice a week. I try to go on a 12-week cycle as far as oriented, with a meet, with what I'm going to be doing. And I don't have a light day. I work heavy all the way through. I do assistance work pretty much every workout, but basically lately I've been splitting the assistance work up because the bench is so heavy. I'll do a lot of triples, doubles on one workout, and then I'll do board presses on the next. And that's about it. Next we're going to go 405, and I'm going to put a little bit of chalk on my hands here. And we'll warm up, get the blood in the joints. And we're going to use the same technique that I described to you before. And I'll show you what's on. One, two. So from here, we'll throw another wheel on. Maybe a little bit more. I'm not going to go real heavy tonight before I show it out, and then we'll see what happens. My weight, as far as the show, make my equipment work and everything, probably between 315 and 320. So that's what we aim for. I usually do like 3 meets a year, but that's about over because in July I retire. All done. This is $495, and we'll do this, and I'm either going to go up one more bit. Usually I go to 605, but I'm a little sore in the elbows. I went up to Inzer at Texas, and I went over 800 2 days in a row, which I've never done, but I needed to. And I'm a little tired, so we'll just save the best for last. It's crucial, and when you warm up, you get warm enough. That way there's blood in the area, and you don't hurt yourself. mistakes that I see that other lifters do a lot. The most common mistake is no focus. You know, when you're at a meeting, you're doing your thing, you should be focused on exactly what you're doing and not socialize as much as you should and lose track of what's going on. You know, the more intense you are, the more you're going to get out of whatever you're doing. That's lifting or life. You know, it's like taking a math test. If you don't study, you get a bad grade. Yeah.
That looks like a good fit.
Yeah, feels pretty good. I had the neck lowered, sort of like an open back, without being an open back. I'm finding to get a lot more support out of it. I need a little assistance.
Tight now?
Yeah.
Easy weight now.
Today, we just did 7:45 a minute ago. We couldn't get it to touch. This is a brand new shirt, so I'm trying to acclimate to it, figuring out what's going to make it touch. And we're not putting 785 on, so we'll hit a rep with that. And that should pretty much give me an idea of whether I get a pop out of it or not.
Come on, Scott.
No weight on the bar now, let's go.
Bring it all the way down.
One ride now.
That's it. Down, 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 down. Press. All the way.
Your time, brother, your time.
Just. Just put the head over it. Let's bring it down. There you go. Nice.
Easy ride now. Come on now. Get mad, let's go.
Come on now.
Low. One.
Keep it tight. Look it, look it, look it, look it, look it, look it, look it. Inch and a half.
How fast did I shoot up?
Oh,
That's easy.
yeah, it's like nothing. That's what I'm saying is.
I gotta hit it lower.
Yeah. Here?
We're not done yet.
Come on now.
Nice ride now. Come on now. Right up.
That's easy now. Tight all the way down.
Come on now. Right up.
Look it. That's it. Keep looking. Look, 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 look. Nice, got it.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Easy. Touch?
Yeah, yeah.
You did? That
Touch.
was it?
That's better.
Oh,
Okay, you remember how to do it, right?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Boys and girls,
All right.
8:05. APF Nationals, here we come. We never really went over any support work from the last workout that you guys witnessed with the 805, but I'll just quickly go over a few things that I do. First off, these are the blocks, a very good piece. I do hammer curls, and basically what a hammer curl is it's a bicep curl without the rotation, and that's for good forearm strength. And we'll come here, and down, here, and down. Then, very locally, we'll move over to the next machine. This is an Icarian pec deck that I had a custom built 500-pound stack for my particular needs. And basically what I'll do is I'll come in, I go in a standing position right from here, and I come from here, 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 and here. We come over and we do chest supported rows, and we'll go from here and we vary the grips. From here, we'll come on down this way to the other end of my 45,000 square foot gym. And this is a seated row, and basically what we'll do here is our upper back, and we modify the range of motion. It's not like a bodybuilder type exercise. Never forgetting the Lois Simmons reverse hyper extension. Awesome machine. I recommend it in any gym. We'll get in position here. Then we'll come over and we'll do some tricep extensions. Here. And we also do a lot of close grip work on the bench, board presses and other things. And that's about it. We really don't incorporate any speed day whatsoever because of the joint injury. And I found that heavy work, safe heavy work, is the key to success in the bench press. In the very first issue of Powerlifter Video magazine in 1992, Anthony Clark had the first star workout.
On three. 1, 2, 3. Go 5. 3.5 cold, 24. On 3. 1, 2, 3. We just got off the incline press, and as you saw, I went up pretty high in the reps. The reason why I do the incline press is because it helps create explosion off my chest. It builds stability in the muscles, and I think you have to have stability in all the muscles: incline, decline, upper pec, and lower pec. And the sets that I do, I only do 3 to 4 sets, and I go up like in succession of 135, 90-pound jump up to maybe 500 for about 3 to 4 reps, heavy reps. And it helps me to have that stability in there, and that's the reason why I do it. we just got off the reverse grip bench press. This is the big talk. Everybody asks me, why do I do the reverse grip? Why don't I do regular grip? And I guess because the reverse grip has helped me. You know, I've done this reverse grip press because of the barbarians. Matter of fact, you know, they said they can do so much weight, so I want to try to get better to them. And I didn't know how that I was going to get there, but I worked hard at this lift, and all of a sudden I was doing 600 pounds. We're at the cable pulls right now for chest. The reason why I like this is because it stretches the muscles, the pectorals, because I've done all my heavyweight now. Now I want to stretch and get the blood flowing. It's really like sort of like a downset for me, and that's the reason why I'm doing them. So I do this once a week. You know, today is Friday, and I do my light work today. So as you saw in the previous shots, that was my light day. So, and I do Monday I go heavy, which I start off with a reverse grip bench, and I end off with cables. So I only do this once a week. Cables for the stretch. This is pretty much a bodybuilding exercise, but you have to do some bodybuilding because you have to build the small muscles as well as the big muscles around you. That's my theory. And it doesn't hurt for you to do light weight. Matter of fact, it really helps you doing light weights because it builds those small muscles, which are the stabilizer muscles in your big muscle parts. And you want to do between 3 sets of 12 in this exercise. Not real heavy weight. So this lift, cable pulls again, my second set.
It's now time for a visit to Westside Barbell. We'll visit with Lois Simmons, a mentor of mine.
Hi, I'm Lois Simmons. This is Westside Barbell Club, Columbus, Ohio. This is the strongest gym there is in the United States. We have 16 people qualified for the APS seniors. We have 10 people in the WPC Worlds. Today is bench press day. Unlike the rest of the country, we don't use any heavy weights on our bench press day, but we train it for velocity. We concentrate on speed and explosive power on this day. Most of our lifters train around 55 to 60% of a contest max. We do 8 to 10 triples with varying grips. After we bench press, we do the Paul Dix press, some type of dumbbell extension either on the floor or on a bench. On the bench is continuous muscle tension. On the floor, it's broken up. The eccentric concentric chain is broken up, and it requires quick strength to lift the weights off eccentrically. Then we do some side and rear delt work and some lat work and a few hammer curls. Our workouts take under 1 hour. They're very fast, very intense, and unlike any other gym in the country, like I say, we just train at one weight. On the other day, though, is the maximum effort day. That day we handle heavy rack lockouts, working up to a top single. We make the biggest jumps as possible, always use a close grip. The bar moves the top 4 inches, no more than the top 8. We press it off a pin, breaking inertia. We never lower the weight. When you lower heavy weights, that portion of lowering contributes to most soreness. That's why we don't do any eccentric work. A lot of people do what's known as negatives or eccentric work. That contributes to muscle hypertrophy, but it also contributes a great deal to muscle soreness. Naturally, we don't want to get any support when we have to because we train so intensely as it is. After rack lockouts for 2 or 3 weeks, they'll do board press. When you do board press, we use 2, 3, or 4 2x6s. It's basically where everyone sticks in the bench press. It's also where a bench press shirt stops and you must start. What we'll do, again, we'll work up to a top single, either with a close grip or with a moderate close grip. As we take out boards, we take our grip out slightly. Kenny Paterson, for instance, locked out 620 pounds on 2 2x6s. We never wear a bench press shirt on this day. After we finish with the board press for 2 or 3 weeks, we normally rotate to floor press. When doing the floor press, The bar is lowered down, the elbows are completely relaxed, the triceps, and then a quick muscle contraction. It requires quick strength to drive the bar up. Again, we broke the eccentric concentric chain. You'll notice on bench day we lower the weights fairly fast. The faster a muscle is stretched, the faster it will contract. So we like to get it down and get it up as quick as possible. Now on bench press day, we lower the bar as fast as possible and release the action. The faster a muscle is stretched, the harder it will contract. So we go from eccentric to concentric as fast as possible. We never pause on bench pressing because only a pause is just a rule. It has nothing to do with strength. The muscle is in a static position. The muscles are neither lengthening nor shortening. They're actually doing nothing, just staying in a static mode. Now people ask me, does this system work? We have had 19 people bench over 500 pounds in this gym. On the Schwartz formula, the 10th best bench press in this gym is 501 at 181. That's 10th. Kenny Paterson leads the way with a 672-pound bench. He's 22 years old. He weighed around 265 pounds. We have a 633-pound bencher, George Howard. George is 23 years old. And we also have Jerry Obradovich. Jerry benched over 600 pounds at 20 years old. He's so far benched 617 at 21 years old. Joe McCoy is another example, a junior lifter. He holds the junior world record in the 181s at 512, junior world record at 540 in the 198s. He's also benched 550 in the 220s. So we actually hold the junior world records from the 181 up into the 308s. I think that's testimony alone if this program works.
A day I will never forget. Venice Beach, California, July 12th. With this very bench. Witness the 875 yourself. Young Josh Bryant, one of powerlifting's newest rising stars. Let's see what he does in his bench workout.
Hi, my name's Josh Bryant. We're here at Ventura Golds in Ventura, California again. In my opinion, the best gym in Southern California. Today's bench day, we're gonna go up pretty heavy on the bench. Go up to a couple reps, singles and doubles, and we're gonna go up and do some heavy work, overload, and that's then we're gonna do a little accessory work. Not a whole lot of accessory work because we got a meet, just a bench meet Saturday, but we're not peaking out for it. We're warming up right now, just 135. We're gonna add a little bit of weight at a time and give ourselves a nice pace to warm out and get it going.
Straight down. You know what I'm gonna do? I think is put a wall here. For 200 pounds, I can slide on this wall because there's gaps right there. Here we go.
And how some it freaks them out. I'll tell them something.
We left it there. We thought we were like
when I sit down, I think first off, I'm gonna put my feet up on the bench to get me ready. Then when I sit them down, I put them as wide, pretty wide for me. But due to the lack of flexibility, I can't put them too wide. And I'd like to be able to arch some, but I can't. I'm just too big and inflexible. And I think it'll also tire my back out for deadlift because I do free lift meets, not just only bench meets. Here we go. I'm gonna give 225 a ride for warm right here.
Hi, welcome here to watch us bench press again. This is basically Josh's routine. We did the deadlift before. This is what has helped me a lot in my bench. I've gone up about 50, 60 pounds in my competition bench by working out with Josh, and hopefully you'll learn something from him today. I try and go just a slightly backwards. It's just my natural arch that I have with my arms, since I'm such a long arm person. It's not really conducive to being a good bencher, because I have a lot longer to go, but I have more of a backward arch. I don't try and get too drastic with it, but there is some there to mine. I have neoprene. All I use this for is my elbows have arthritis in them. I have a little bit of arthritis. This just keeps some heat generated in them. I take an aspirin a day and then put these on whenever I'm benching, just to keep the heat and the moisture inside my elbows.
6 feet tall. Last time I weighed I was about 290, but that was 2 weeks ago, so we could be in the latter part of that now. I'm gonna wait till Venice to see what I weigh, because if I weigh every day, I get discouraged when I don't gain weight, so I'm gonna see what I weigh at Venice. This is my dad. He originally got me a set of weights when I was about in kindergarten, and we didn't have a bench, but I used to just fool around with him, and he got me started bench pressing and doing everything else, and then eventually told me I should squat and stuff. Then he introduced me to one of his good friends, Steve Hall, and he got me started in powerlifting pretty much. And then lately I've been training with George, who's also a good influence. Originally when I started benching, I was going more back over my eyes because I felt I generated more explosion that way. But more and more I've been doing so much tricep work without doing it purposely. I think the bar's just going more of a straight line now, because if your triceps are strong, it's going to go in a straight line.
This will be just 315 for Josh, just another warm up, getting going. We'll probably go 365, 405, 455, and then we'll see how he's feeling and start getting some heavy weight for him. You got it. One thing that you'll notice is even at the light weights, we hand off the weight to the other guy. We started goofing around a little bit, experimenting with it. We found that we're wasting our own strength by taking out these weights, and so even at a light weight, we'll hand off to the other guy just to save the energy for the big lifts. My back didn't go out like it did at the last meet. I've been having some trouble with my back by pushing off too hard. So now I'm done. We're going to run Josh up in his weights and work with his dad a little bit. I just want to do the 405, so I don't want to tire myself out for Venice. So we're going to work Josh up because he recovers a little bit quicker than I am, since I'm 30 years older than him. Good triple. £455 for Josh. He'll probably do a double at this, and then we'll start doing singles from here on out. What we're going to be doing here a little bit, after we get up here a little bit, a couple more sets, Josh will start overloading him, and we're going to go real heavy overloads. We do it every 2 weeks. It's just like a lot of negative resistance for him. Well, today we're going to go probably around 870. You'll see that he has pretty good control coming down. He can usually get about an inch off his chest, and will help him through the rest of it. But we'll go up around the 6s pretty much by himself, because it's just touch and go, so he can get a good drive off of it. And this also gives him a lot of confidence when he gets into a meet, when he gets into the meet conditions, because the weight isn't as heavy to him. He feels a lot better underneath it.
Glad I got that. I got it by myself, raw 520. I didn't start really going that heavy raw till a little while ago. I didn't really go like 470, 480, but I think going raw real heavy, how I'm doing, is going to pay off great dividends in the future. I use a shirt when I compete. I use the Inzer Advanced Design EPHD or the double EPHD, because I think Inzer Advanced Designs make the most superior powerlifting apparel on the planet.
650 pounds for Josh. It's going to be an assisted lift. We'll hand off to him. He'll take it down by himself and see how far up he can get it. And he'll let me know. We're so used to working together. Just a nod of his head, and I'll know when to take it from him. We'll help him up with it. But he should get 3/4 of it by himself. Hopefully that's what we're shooting for. The reason we're doing this is that Josh can get used to this heavier weight, and his body gets used to feeling it. And then we go into competition. The weights we're using there just seem lighter to him, and we can work up these weights. He should be, by the end of this year, a 600-pound competition bencher.
Again, we're getting ready for the lift. We got the Inzer belt, Inzer sweatpants, Inzer shirt, Inzer wrist wraps.
And a nose torque.
And Inzer nose torque.
Anything for John Inzer. Okay, John. Come on, buddy. Oh, Josh. That's a good lift for him. I only help him maybe 15, 20 pounds, just keep control over the bar. He's happy with it. Now we'll go up to 765. We'll go up to 765, but I feel like I feel that weight on his chest.
George is doing the bulk of the spotting here, but we got a guy on each end just in case something happens. It's a lot of weight. He's my kid, and I'd have to pay all the doctor bills.
Okay, easy weight. Get your head into it. Drive it. That's it, buddy. Drive it. Lock it.
Nice, bud. Nice. That's the way, buddy.
That was a nice one.
This right here is Mike Callahan Dudley, we call him CD. He's powerlifting and doing real well, but he blew out his appendix. And as soon as the doctor said it's okay to lift, he came back that day and he's trained hard ever since, and he's already back to about where he was. And look for this guy to do real well in the future.
Yeah, it's an exchange. I come here, I help them low weight, spot them, and they teach me how to lift. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get the big numbers like these guys.
We've got 865 on the bar now. We're overloading this. This is the most we put on him. 2 weeks ago we did an 855, and he felt good with it, so he wants to try this today. And this will be the most we've ever put on him right now. And it should do pretty good. This really helps his confidence, and like I said, we go to the meets, he just feels a whole lot better and much stronger under the lighter weights.
I get really uptight about the whole thing. You know, these numbers are getting so big that they scare me because I've always been uptight since you're a kid. I always get uptight with the big squat numbers and all that, you know, but it's what he wants to do, and he's real scientific about how he does it and stuff, so I have a lot of confidence in George too, and he's had good training. Steve Hall, he's had a lot of good training, so he knows what he's doing. But as a parent, it scares you every time they get under that much weight. Come on, buddy. You can do it, bro. We'll get our quick on this thing. Come on.
Moving guy.
George feel?
That was a good lift for Josh. That's a PR for him in this. We're right about at his peak right now. He started getting a little lightheaded, started getting the head rush coming off over there. So we'll wait a couple more weeks before we do this. Probably be 3 weeks before we do this again, as we've got a meet next Saturday at Venice. But I'm real proud of him, and as you can see, for a 20-year-old, he's probably the strongest kid in the world right now.
What we're gonna do next is we have some close grips. We do them pretty heavy on Thursdays too, with like a fat bar and chains right now. And today we're just a little bit tired from going up pretty heavy, but we'll see if we can get a few.
We've got his triceps pretty much tired out by doing the heavy benching, but we'll do the close grips now just to pump up his triceps some more. Here we'll start off with 405 and do 6 reps. Then we'll be dropping down in weight for him. But this will be just starting at 405 and see if we get a good pump in his triceps. And as I say, we got a contest in a few days, so this will be our final exercise for today.
When we do the close grips, we make sure the index finger's touching the smooth part of the bar.
Sometimes I wonder about that too.
Come on, big daddy.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video portion of our bench press, and maybe these tips can help you.
Well, that's it for this issue. We hope you learned a lot from our video. Stay strong, stay healthy, and good luck in all your lifting.